Not even a quarter mile down the trail, and I promptly charted.
Case. The window.
Headed up Labyrinth Peak today. Got a new book, Scrambles in Washington. Haven't done any dedicated scrambles per se, so I thought I'd give it a try. Starting with the easiest one. It is late in the season. It's late October, mid to late October. It's got about 6 miles to do round trip. 2,700, 2,900 feet of elevation gain to go. We'll see how it goes. Right now it's raining and incredibly beautiful. Already pretty steep. Hints of snow are in the air. Well, I got not even a quarter mile down the trail and I promptly charted. Remember, boys and girls, we're eating keto. You're playing with fire. This video doesn't do any justice to how steep this trail is. It is steep as shit. So I'm an hour in, and somewhat disturbingly, I've only gone 0.7 miles. However, according to my altimeter, I have done 1,138 feet. So there's that. I think it'd be closer to a full mile at this point had I not charted. Thank God for wilderness wives. It's fall down in the lowlands near Spokane, but it is a beautiful wintry day up here in this meadow. Minotaur Lake. And I believe that's Labyrinth Mountain up there in the clouds. This ought to be fun. Hopefully it'll clear up a little bit before I get up there and not get too much worse. Got a little trepidation about the weather, but we'll see how it goes. Important note, when you get to Minotaur Lake, take a right. Go on the right side of the lake around the shoreline to get to Labyrinth Peak, not a left. This is your right hand turn right here. It's a little subtle. Down there is Theseus Lake. Climbing up this old gully here on a boot path that's a little more than a game trail. The RCB, the USGS marker. Well, not a lot to see up here at the moment. It's pretty socked in. That's where it came from. And down there. That's Labyrinth Peak over there. I'm a little further to the south. There's a secondary peak. I don't know if it's prominent enough to merit its own peak. And sadly, there's no discernible USGS marker. So it's an unmarked peak, but it's a simple scramble to get back over here. Now it's time to head down. Now that I'm out of the wind, I'll give a brief recap of the trail so far, which is pretty much all of it. I'm just on the way back down. So according to Caltopo, I've done 3,000 feet of elevation gain. It took me a little under 3 hours, 2 hours and 54, 55 minutes, somewhere around there. Probably could shave off another 20 minutes with better route finding. Some of the GPS tricks that I have lead off one way or the other. So be sure when you come up here, you get a good reliable track and follow it. There's boot paths everywhere that meander off of this thing. It's pretty easy to take the wrong path and have to wander back. Even All Trails goes on the other side of the lake briefly. It does show that you go to the east side of the lake, but it goes to the west side first, so bear that in mind. That'll slow you down if you're looking to make speed. All in all, it's despite the fact that it's completely socked in today, it's a completely beautiful trail. Pretty steep. I would say, I haven't looked at the difficulty on All Trails. I'm guessing All Trails would call it a hard. It's not really a hard. But take it from a mediocre mountaineer who's middle-aged and has a moderate level of fitness, that it would be on the harder end of your average All Trails hike. Although, as far as scrambles go, it's one of the easiest in the Scrambles of Washington book. I'm glad that I started there. I wouldn't say that it kicked my ass in any way, shape, or form. It is strenuous at times, but it's good. It's a good entry-level scramble to kind of calibrate you. There's a boot track almost all the way to the top. Very little scrambling involved. Maybe 3 or 4 moves that I would call scrambling. Other than that, it's basic first and second class hiking. Maybe third class move, maybe 2 of them. Pretty straightforward hike altogether. Beautiful time of year though. I don't know if it's because this isn't a super popular hike or if it's because it's fall and it's snowing. But I see very few people. I passed 2 groups of people, one group of 5 and one group of 3. That was it, which is pretty unusual for the Cascades. All right, see you back down with the car. Another view of Theseus Lake below. And a view of Minotaur Lake up high to complement Theseus below. Minotaur Mountain up there in the clouds. There's a cool little saddle here call. You can see Theseus down there. And I just rotate slowly. Turn to my right. Minotaur Lake is right there. Labyrinth Mountain, not peak, mountain, still up in the clouds there. Back in the car. According to Caltopo, it took me 4.8 hours to hike up to the top of Labyrinth Mountain and down. According to All Trails, it was 4 hours and 56 minutes, 4 hours and 22, that was moving time. Sounds about right. My altimeter was off. I paused it at some point by accident. I assume by 30 minutes. So all told, my elevation gain on All Trails was 2,661, and Caltopo, which I misread earlier, was 2,644. So they square together pretty well. I'll put the description from Washington Scrambles, both in terms of expected hour time and elevation gain here, as well as a link to that book in the description below. Let me know what you get for elevation when you do this hike. I would say it's a wonderful hike. It's worth doing. It's short and sweet, but it is steep as fuck in terms of for hikes. As far as scrambling, I don't know. I haven't done a scrambling yet. I've done a fair amount of mountaineering. Still an amateur amount, I would say, but a fair amount. And scrambling is kind of new to me. It's somewhere in between hiking and mountaineering, and I'm not sure what to make of it as its own objective yet. We'll see as time goes on, I suppose. See at the top.